all day. All right, so I am live. Hello, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day, uh, wonderful morning in the East Coast of the day. So, morning talk. Yes, this is where we talk about the morning, or just have conversations about anything per se, whether it be for, let's just say, if anybody that joins, or I guess if I make a poll on Instagram, yo, what's up, Dipper? Dipper Dipper, aka the Pokemon legend, aka the undefeated Pokemon master, aka the guy that will beat you up in Smash, aka another guy that would probably drop kick you in the face with a female Majin. You don't know, because that is the Dipper of the Dipper, aka the master of the Tripper, but he knows he got nothing but some slippers. You're not all of that. Oh, okay. So you're a Pokemon master. Gotcha. Understand. Understand. Yeah, you Pokemon master. You're not all of that. See, we got him. We got him. See, he said he's not all of that, but he's some of it. We got him, chat. Exposed, 4K, Ultra HD. Oh, we got him. See, we got the Dipper. We caught the star, red-handed. I hope the audio is good. Because if the audio is good, a-okay. Distract them to any of that. Wow. Oh my God, he's backtracking. He's he's pulling out. He's like, nah, this man right here, this man right here, lying. I know my man Dipper's like, this man's lying out of his ass. Dipper's like, this man is lying. He is speaking false truth. He's like, I don't win anything. And then me, I'm like, the man's capping. He's capping. You see the guy Dipper? Caparina. Oh, see, look, cap. He's capping. He's capping. He's capping. Yeah, right there. We call that's Mr. Cap. You see, look, Cap. This is the undefeated Pokemon master. He's never lost a single game. He makes people rage quit on Pokemon, bro. I'm serious. This guy. Okay, I'm not the best. Oh, see now he's all right. See, look, he's saying he's not the best. All right. All right, okay. He said he's not the best. Somehow he's saying he's not the best. But how is everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a wonderful day, you know, or morning, I guess. So, anybody want to talk about anything? Any topics you have? Because the door is open for basically anything. We can talk about anime. I don't know, people on YouTube, you know. Uh, yeah. So I mean, hey, gaming, gaming news, uh, any and everything, I guess, pretty much. Most things are, I guess, are not off limits, but yeah. So, yeah, if anybody got anything, yeah, I don't know, is the audio good? That's also another thing. The audio, they okay, you know? Or if anything is like lagging or something like, So I'm kind of new to this. I haven't streamed on YouTube in literally 3 years. Crazy. But yeah, mm, but yeah, but yeah. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, though. Morning. The day just started for us, I guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I guess, anybody watching the anime lately? Because, I haven't. I haven't. All I've been doing, listening to music, liking people post on Instagram, and, having conversations. As I said yesterday, got to meet my brother in person in over 10 years. Yeah, cool stuff. Uh, let's see if there's anything, lagging in. But yeah, any topics y'all want to talk about for today? Open discussion. Open discussion. Open discussion. Truth be told, YouTube is old. Whether or not you know, I mean, YouTube is what almost damn. YouTube is almost 20 years old. Jeez, Jesus, Jesus. YouTube is 19 years old. But yeah, everybody good though. Everybody good. Everybody good. Good morning. Good morning. Mm, yeah. But yeah. So let's see. Oh boy. Doop, doop, doop. Oh, that. Yeah, you did the StreamYard stuff, figuring out how this works all the way, and eventually I can get this thing to working at an optimal level. Mhm. Hey, we all start from humble beginnings. That is a fact. That is a true thing to all things. It's like a hidden talent, pretty much. Mm, no. Let me see. Uh, let me just do you. I want to appreciate the like though. Appreciate the like on the stream. Uh, okay, I got muted because I hope. Okay, so I'm not missing anything. All right. I'm just loading. But yeah, let me see. What can I just talk about though? Because I mean, I'm trying to wonder what can I just talk about? Like honestly, whether it be, I guess I wonder what is the future of gaming. There's gonna be like more open worlds, and I'm looking forward to the expansion of, I guess, more or less, I guess, the rise of anime games because this is, I think, 2024 is gonna be a good year for anime games in general. And then, because funny enough, like not a lot of anime games are pretty much like mainstream. I think the only few, there's only like a few. Um, it'd be kind of cool to get to the point where just an anime game is as popular, is as successful, is more or less the same game every year. And yeah, that's kind of a funny thing. But let me see. If hmm, most companies would not be lazy with some anime games they release. Yeah, that's the truth too. Um, they bring out a game, like for example, what is it? Uh, Cyberpunk 2077. That game was released at a terrible state, and then as it, got better throughout the years, and then it's like now a good game, but then it's like at the same time, why couldn't the game just start out as what it is now, and then it could have built on itself even more, and then it would have had a better, I guess, would have had a better reputation. But now it's like, because my thing is this: don't release a game if it's not going to be good at all, right? Because I mean, what's the point? It's just we just bought a beta version of the game, which we could have. I mean, shoot, I'd rather wait 4 years, 3 years, 10 years if it better be better than the last, you know. And I'll also say this too. I think it's fine that games don't have sequels within 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. You know, take some time, build upon the game that you've already built. I mean, unless you're like doing a sequel base, like within two, well, like that's gonna happen. Like there's gonna be games that just have sequels like that. But to then really, I guess, you know, because I think in some games, like I don't, GTA 5. It's like if you just keep updating the game, make content, which people should be, I guess, satisfied enough for it to last them until GTA 6, which isn't coming out till 2025, which I think is crazy. I think at some well, had a whole decade to work on a sequel, I guess. I would say a whole decade, probably 7 years, to be honest, because I hope that the game developers got a break at least for making GTA 5, which that was a good game. But I would say the aspect of GTA 6, I wish they focused on the parkour more. Mm, Exact, exactly. A lot of companies release games in unfinished state and then release updates, patches, and attempt to fix it later. Unfortunately, sometimes they never fully or even read out. You never fully show this. Okay, this is way better because a part of my screen is like black, so I can't really see that comment. So like, exactly, a lot of companies release games in an unfinished state and then release updates and patches. It tends to fix it later. Unfortunately, sometimes they never fix them or never fix them fully or at all. And that's true. Xenoverse. Xenoverse. Oh God. Damn. Uh, Mm, 2K. Uh, um, sorry. Uh, I caught COVID all of a sudden. My fault. You know, I caught a cold. You know, it's, it's just like, oh God, you know, just, just just caught a cold miraculously out of nowhere. You know, but yeah, that's true. And I find it very, um, let me see, but I find it interesting that also because it's just crazy that people could just release games at just such a at a poor state, and then you just look at them like, because you're spending money on a game. Oh, then was it the day before? Oh my God, that game. We talking non-existent at that point. The day before, I don't know if you, I guess, had seen them talk about the day before, but that game was so bad, and even then they lied about what the game was gonna be. And then, but man, I think what 90% of the people refunded the game. I'm like, and it has like the poorest reviews, and the company shut itself down just just off of just lying, false promises on making a very good open world zombie apocalypse game. And I wish it was what it set out to be, but it ain't true. Unfortunate. But, uh, but yeah, it's just very interesting. And yeah, and I think also what I want to like, I just wish that you know, we got I wish Xenoverse was a really good game, but it's okay. Too many lingering issues throughout the years, and still have issues now. I mean, there's still people able to just cheat on PS4, and I'm like, or PlayStation in general, just like still got game breaking bugs and all that. With me just watching people play, it's fun. It's an okay game. It's okay. It's not the best, but could be better. Could be better. Um, Nintendo. Are they gonna make a new Switch or a new system, a more powerful system, so that people can play games at a better rate? I guess a better. Nah, we'll have a more comfortable time playing. Because I think it's crazy that at Switch you're not even able to just that the Mortal Kombat 1. I was like, why is this optimized so bad? And it's like, why did you put this on the Switch? I'm just, I mean, all these game developers got all this money in the world, and you can't optimize the game to run on. I don't know. I don't make games. I don't make games. But I think it's kind of crazy that I don't know why they can't make games look like trash, but then it runs good. You know what I'm saying? Because if I could just make a game run look, because I wonder, if graphics affects frame rate, and if what if I could just lower my graphics to, you know, to basically garbage pretty much, but then I have smooth gameplay, which would be cool for consoles, I would say, is that being able to change, your stuff, like change the graphics, change the resolution, and have a smoother time. 'Cause, Uh, but PC game, that's going to be on the rise this year too. PC game is going to be on the rise, and appreciate the likes on the stream. Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone that's tuning in or has tuned in or will probably see this afterwards, maybe. Have some conversations about some real life topics. But yeah, because I guess also what we can also talk about is like, I don't know, y'all want to talk about some, I guess, men's mental health. Because hey, isn't that something, right? And hello, welcome on in, viewer number two. Hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're chilling, hey, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Because all I'm gonna see is nothing but comments, yo. Ha! Don't hit the game, hit the player, hit the game. Bars. Tyrone Magnus. That's funny. But yeah, but I don't know. Y'all want to talk about men's mental health and I guess because I mean, there's a patriarchy amongst us and how we are supposed to be as men, and to then fulfill that role as being a man, the typical stuff, paying for meals, you know, uh, being the breadwinner, you know, uh, being tough 24/7, not showing yourself crying, never showing a sense of weakness, and that all that stuff, and you know, uh, and it's kind of crazy that a lot of us, growing up from being a boy to a man, is that we try to find what determines us as men, but then we could never really, because it's like what makes us a man, It's like, is it the muscles that we have, the facial features, is it how we conduct ourselves amongst us as to people and to women, and how are we viewed from women, and from, I guess, their perspective, it's because I always find it interesting that, because there's always extremes on both sides to how one is viewed, you know, the typical, oh, men ain't shit, or women are this, that, hoes, whatever this, and men are trash, or men are cheats, and then it's just, then we kind of built this stigma amongst us, and especially from a black community, we put that on ourselves against our own, females that we just think that all women are considered this or black women, and which kind of sucks, and it doesn't help that there's always this negative type of thing when it comes to black females as well, and also that like and that the fact that we also give off this thing that the fear, right? Because even was it a few months ago, like in 2023, when there was a conversation about like should men step in to help a woman if she's like in danger or something, and the conversation was had that some men were like I wouldn't risk my life to save a woman, this, that, and the third. Or then there's other side where there's men that would like I would risk my life to save somebody or save somebody else, save another woman. But and I get to the conversation, it's like, and it's kind of funny because the men that don't do it, or don't want to save another woman, is that it's what is it? It's that you're in fear of another man, which is kind of true if you think about it. Because I'm like, because I, am I going to fear a woman attacking me, or am I going to fear a man attacking me? And then what comes with it, I guess, you know, because in the situation of, well, I'm gonna just say this: the best thing that you could do is always call for help. That's one thing, but then to also maybe try and de-escalate the situation, or but I mean, it's even. I'm like everyone. Like there's people that just walk by when somebody's getting beat up, and I walk by because there's also the other thing too, where it is you don't want to get involved, and then you end up losing your life because of it. Now that's also another thing. It's like there is that kind of uh that split between whether to just in general just to save somebody and risk your life to probably de-escalate a situation. And to that, I would say it's just uh, it's just very because it's just very split because you can't really harp. Now, sometimes I mean you could kind of like harp on the people that like be like, oh, I don't say women because women are this. I'm like, bro, like you see a woman get her freaking face caved in. I'm like, you know, I mean, sometimes you would kind of like jump in just to be like, hey, yo, whoa, whoa, like, what I'm saying, just in any situation, someone getting their ass whooped so bad, and it's like they're about to die. I'm like, dude, you're about to commit murder pretty much, and you know, because I mean, I've been in situations where like my classmates, because this one kid punched me in the face in class for no reason, and I literally had like three classmates, like literally like pull me back, and I'm like. But like to then like de-escalate situations like that, because and that's what man versus man type of thing. And yeah, stuff like that. But also, I guess to go back to I guess like what does it mean to be a man? You know, finding that out within ourselves as individuals, because there's a lot of because a lot of people see men differently. Black men, if we talk about if I talk about black men, it's just that we are in a point of view where like we are sexualized to an extreme extent. And of just and we're seen as violent, aggressive, and that we're seen in a very, I guess, negative light amongst other people and or just other races, or we're intimidating to others, and it's just I mean, kind of sucks mainly because of just stereotypes you know and also just we also give into it too through like the music videos or music that you hear as well, and or that's what's being pushed amongst us as even just us growing up. 'Cause, I remember one of my classmates in the sixth grade. He was in a music video in the back of a liquor store. Um, like just he was just and you thought, but he's like 12, and just in the background, just on some pseudo thug stuff, and yeah, and it's just kind of crazy to just think about that we just and it kind of sucks because that's why police violence and police brutality and and the stuff that's added on to just within our violence within our own community, and then we have to deal with things outside of our community that you know things that violence outside of our community as well, and it's just kind of a very what is it damn how do I word this? It's a very, I would say, sad and also a very tough thing to deal with because and also it's proximity crime because where I live predominantly black area, uh and it's just there's problems within us as people because we have different opinions, different ways of thinking. Because, for example, I may like this, you may like that. And then, or if I did something like this way, but then it probably pissed you off. And then we go into an altercation because of something or something that someone else did that pissed them off. And that's why we can't really, I guess, as a singular, I guess, community even. Because if you really think about it, because at one point in 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 life, especially in the black community, at one point we were pretty much united. There was nothing that could we from within. I would say, and don't get me wrong, there's like violence within all communities, but I know it was severely smaller or significant, back in the day. But then as we get more rights, and everything, and as we, evolve, is that we assimilate the behavior of white folks. Just just keeping it a stack, just off of just throughout the years, we've then adopted these social not social but like it's just the norms of violence and just also the crack epidemic, the war on drugs, and that being peddled into you know the black community, and it just kind of just then it just fermented itself because once something is established, it's hard to get rid of. Just like let's just how do I put this? Because if something exists, it will then continue to live on. Depending especially if it's popular, obviously. Just like Batman. Once Batman existed, he's going to exist for the entirety of the rest of life. superheroes, a car. Once something is made in life and it's big enough to be around the world, think about it, right? If you really think about it, once something is established, it will be hard to ever get rid of. Racism, once it's established, it's literally impossible to get rid of. The only way that you can get rid of racism is by then having some mind control ability to just control everybody's mind. But then it's like this. If I was in prison, or if I had gone to a prison and then I look at, oh, they did this, this, and this, that, and the third, at some point I would want to, yeah, because the thing about it is it's a cycle that repeats. There's some people that want to be gangbangers. There's some people that want to be scholars. There's some people that want to be athletes. There's some people that want to be technicians. Within all walks of life, people will assimilate what they want to be and whether or not it's good or bad. And that is a very kind of telling thing in our society. It's just because if you look at it like this, I because like I looked up to my brother, you know, he liked Dragon Ball, or oh no, I ended up liking it anyway. But you tend to like follow things that people do that you look up to, and you somewhat maybe adopt a few things of their behavior, uh, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just you would adopt, yeah, some things, right? So, and like I guess to go back to, oh damn, I'm fucking lost somewhat. My brain is just going crazy. But I guess to get back to like, well, I guess the black community, like just assume, like just because we tend to just do things. Because at some point there was gonna be a first a first black serial killer. There's gonna be a first black, just and everything, right? It took 44 presidents just to get one black president. Now that it happened, there might be another one, but maybe another 44 presidents. You know, we might get a black president. You know what I'm saying? But it's like once something happens, there's gonna be more of. Like I said, all it takes is just one thing because it's hard to get rid of something or like eliminate it. So like, for example, cheaters in video games. Once that exists, you're gonna see cheaters in every single video game for the rest of your life because cheating has developed itself as a common thing, a thing that is attempted to do, right? Or just changing your settings in video games. Once something was first established, it then follows itself across all walks of life. So I guess I'll stop with that. But I guess I'll go back into the topic of, I guess, you know, I guess black masculinity, and the hyper fixation of, or I mean, fixation, hyper fetishization of us as black people is it's very high. It's crazy. It is, you know. And to then, or even just, us as men, we could, I guess, have this this discourse and conversation of, I guess what I mean, I guess what defines us as true, I guess, like what defines us as a man. Um, because I could always say, have a job and, you know, be on top of your bills, like, but that's stuff that everyone kind of follows under anyway. And it's just because I don't even really think that I could define what is a man. It's just I could then infer based off of what I believe. May not be the same of what you believe. May not be the same of what someone else believes. May not be the same of what the other person believes. Maybe you have some common, I guess, common points or common, uh, what is it? What's the word? I wouldn't say interest, but common ideas of what we would believe to be as being a man, because it's such a thing. Because there's I mean, I guess what makes what makes us yeah, I guess masculine. The definition of masculine is, you know, and the toxic masculinity, toxic femininity within both regards, both extremes. You don't want to be in either or, you know, because it's the women that don't like men, or the men that don't like women. But it's like I kind of find it funny that those communities are still. I mean, it's like you would think that, but they're straight. It don't make any sense. How are you saying all this bad stuff about women, but then you still have interest in women, whether it be not m- with only like certain regards of how you view them as, and it's like, bro, and then it's like, but we females too. Why is it? I'm like, what? How does this work? I mean, it's serious. Like, I'm like, I'm like, are you, are you, you know, like, how are you still interested in the opposite sex, but you still talk, ish, but then never to find a common ground or a point of understanding is that why are some men like this? Because I forget that one person, um, the one I don't know, the dude with that kid has some that dude has some problems. Talking about I'm a R word women. I'm like, what, dude? Because you've been rejected? It don't make any sense. And then that's another problem too, is that a dude like him is the reason why women still fear us. And it's so out, it kind of, and it's kind of a, and you can't really, um I wouldn't really challenge. I mean, I wouldn't really challenge. Yeah, he really said, like, but he put a, okay, but he put a grape, like he put a grape. So just take the word grape, but take, like, that's what he put up, just to like, I was like, yeah, he literally, like, I forgot his name, but like, you can find him on TikTok. He literally said that, like, anytime you see, like, and I think he got arrested, I believe, like, because he got the police called on him while he was streaming, and I was like, oh yes, good shit, good shit. you know. Well, yeah. But going back to you know, I guess the female, the conversation of that being, I guess, feared, or women being fear of men and men being in fear of men. That's the funny part. It all comes back down to just men in general. Ain't that something? You know. And I I always would like to then, give out a hand saying that I am here. I am here to, I am I want to do what I can to then combat the people that have these uh, extreme rhetorics or opinions on how uh you know how, because men view women or something like that, because all we can do as all we can do is like men pretty much just check the dudes that are like that are out of line. You know, that's the great thing that we can do, is just we can just check them. And because I just find it such a crazy thing that, because red pill, I don't prescribe to that crap ever. Red pill, blue pill, it's just be just I mean just be who you want to be, you know? The red pill community is freaking crazy, unhinged. Some of them, you know, um, or the vocal minority of that community is just crazy, and uh, and it just sucks because, and then they like would talk about like this and this, but then invite the same, but you just invite the same women on, and I'm just saying, fresh and fit, those guys, uh, bring the same women on this show every single time, but then never try to then show women that are of class, I guess, you know, women that have more than just being, I guess, what an adult performer, y- you know. Uh, I mean, it's just kind of crazy that I'm like, because even then, I realize, why you bringing just the same women on the show? Like, it don't take a lot of common sense just to pick that up. Even his own, probably, even their own fan base will probably pick up on that. And it's like you just bring the same type of women on the show, but then it's like, I guess trying to do it to make sure that you don't. It's like it don't take much to know whether or not a woman has class or not. Coming from me, I mean, I'm just saying, it's just you can find a woman with substance. You just gotta look past, I guess. So you just gotta look past of what you're looking for, I guess. Because I say the same people that complain about women are the same people that call women bitches. I mean, that's the thing. You call a woman a bitch, that's all you're gonna see a woman as, is nothing but just a fucking animal, just a dog. I'm like, it's just ridiculous. I'm like, the same people that call a woman a bitch are the same niggas that find women that are considered what hoes or something. I was like, bro, it's like you just you're not really changing yourself. You're not really trying to look outside of what you're just falling into it. But because if let me just say this: if you can't find a quality woman, at some point you will run into one. You just don't rush into relationships. You then feel out the person, get to know the person, and then determine whether or not you can see yourself with them for the rest of your life. If you are in the monogamy type of thing, you know what I'm saying? If you're monogamous, but which and that's also another thing is that there is a also that other type of thing where people have sex with more than have or have an open relationship. I forgot the term for that. But I'll probably look it up later, whatever. But being in an open relationship, which I think is completely fine. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you fuck this many. Like if you're dating, if you're dating us, I'm gonna just say it. If you're dating a porn star or adult dancer or whatever, if you're dating that, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like it boggles my mind that you have I guess dudes that have this ideology that this is also another crazy thing. Women can have can only be with one man, but a man can have multiple women. Make that make sense? In any sort of just comments, I don't. It's like stupid. I think it's dumb. Either you're both together or you're both having sex with multiple people. That's it. There's no oh what? But hey, if you roll with that, if one can do the other, if you roll with that, that's fine. But I think it's kind of weird that there's people, and then also how women are just seen as oh pure and or like or like the dudes only want women that's pure and what is it? Like pure and young or like 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 new, so that they can be molded. Like like that's just another way of saying I want to groom you into being with me. That's literally what they're saying. Like they're trying to groom them. It's like, and it's just, bro, that's just weird. Like people literally wait till a person turns 18 to then be like, hey, let's like, what the fuck? Like you're just a weirdo. Like even me, I'm 20. I'm 23. I'm 23. 20's pushing it. If I'm dating anyone, because my thing, the only thing that I can do is that once I turn 25, like if let's just say I'm 25, I'll date someone that's 5 years younger than me when I'm 25. Because when you're like grown, it's like you only date up. You can only date up. That's fine. I don't mind dating an older woman. That's cool. I'm saying. So that is something. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird because I've always find it funny that the people like Fresh and Fit, they have sex with all these other women. They have sex with multiple women. Fresh and Fit, and I guess some people in the red pill community but then they don't settle down. They just have sex and move on. Sex, move on. Then all they're doing when they have sex and then they move on, they are then doing this. Have sex with this one girl, boom. Then that girl probably has sex with another red pill. Then that girl has sex with another red pill. Then she just getting passed around. And the women that get passed around are considered less than or not as good as a woman that has barely had sex or never had sex. And that is a very, very sick way of thinking. Like, it's like, bro, but then you're putting a dick on 50 women. Like, like, it don't make any sense. It's like, what the heck? You're putting your dick on 50 women. But then you expect women to just be with you. It's like,
All right. So, but yeah, if it's like if you're sticking with one theme, how do you expect? Okay, am I good? Am I good? I guess the stream's still good. I guess I'm gonna just say, how do you expect the female to stick with one person if you don't pass them around? You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't heard that because I never. You think body count? I don't really give a fuck because at the end of the day, as long as they're not tested positive for anything like bad, who gives a shit? Nigga, at that point, you're just another body to them. Unless you're that special. They want to stick with you. Just think about it. Because at that point, let's just say, if there's a girl, she had sex with 40 people. She had sex with 40 people. I don't give a fuck. Listen, we know where I stand. We know where it stands. Is the one I'm 41 now. I'm the 41 body. Boom, she gets to move on. When I settle down, hey, okay, I would say body counts. Do body counts matter? No, because I mean, you bust a nut, you bust a nut, you come, you come. Listen, if I had sex with the same girl 150 fucking times, it's just one body, I still have sex 150 fucking times. That's nasty. That's fucking nasty, bro. Telling you, it's like I'm body counts to me. I don't really give a. The only thing I care about is if you fucking have an STD. That's all the fuck I care about. I mean, what? Oh my god. It's like body counts. I could give two fucks. Honestly, it's just okay. Body counts. Shit. I'm zero. Don't care. What am I gonna judge you for? You had sex multiple times. What does that? What does that do? And let me tell you this: if I know your body count, how the fuck do I know? And this is also another thing. And this is also another thing. the people that do porn, right? But they get vilified. My thing is this: if you don't watch porn, you shouldn't know who what is. Just saying. I mean, you're probably gonna know because it's gonna get circled around in interviews, or you might run into it eventually. But I don't really understand it because I see porn stars get interviewed, and then I watch it because I would like to know more about them besides just I guess seeing that insides get fucking turned inside and out. I mean, all jokes aside, but just I mean, like people are people. People have emotions, and I'm gonna just say this about like just porn stars in general, or just adult film actresses or whatever. Is that think about this? Like, really think about this. You wouldn't know how much sex a porn star has if they never filmed or something. And those are the most, I would say, those are the most professional people when it comes to sex. They get tested a lot. I mean, you're talking about clean. I mean, pretty porn stars are the most professional people when it comes to like sex. I mean, they get tested more often. They I mean, it's a very difficult business. Let me see. I'm trying to. Sorry about that. Just find something. Man, my leg. But yeah, that's a very, I guess, thing I find interesting about us as yeah, it's just the whole body count thing. 'Cause I think about it, I'm like, person had sex with a porn star had sex with like maybe with 500 people. How would you know? Just saying. It's like you're watching porn. How do you know how much the porn star has? You know. Now, I would also say that it's very important to be open about your sexual history because then you would then have a level of transparency between okay, do I want to do I want to have sexual intercourse? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I mean, I guess it's your choice at the end of the day whether you want to have sex with somebody with no bodies or with bodies, some bodies, right? Um, so that's also another thing. But but to the point of the people that vilify it, stupid. It don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why are people being vilified for something that again a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people enjoy. A lot of people do enjoy the 3 a.m. activities. Just saying. You see the views that them shits gets? You see the views on, on on the hub alone? And then it's like, I don't hate it. Fucking cool. You watch it, you move on, have a good day. I guess. But not really. I mean, it's just that's just a lot of things that comes along with I guess a sex worker is that the stigma of just or not even the stigma or just the I guess Because a lot of adult film stars, it's a very taboo job, and it's kind of just frowned upon, you know, within the context of, like, I guess if you're like a religious person within the Bible or within the Quran or in the religious means of that, is that it's not a it's a sinful thing. It's a sinful act to do sex within a lustful type of way. And so, you know, eh, that stuff and whatever. But yeah, body counts I could give two F's about, really. It just doesn't really. It's just always down to just personal. Again, that's my way of seeing things, and other people see it differently, and that's what makes the world go around. Is that these multiple opinions on so many levels. We have so many different opinions, whether or not, or even you have so many common opinions to that point, right? And I may not see things like this, or some people prefer this over this. Just obvious, things in life. Just some people prefer things over things. Like I prefer to watch Yu Yu Hakusho over Naruto, me. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. Just but to then have that option and whatever. But yeah, yeah, because I think the whole red pill stuff is just very weird, and I mean it's taken a toll on its own amongst all things. I mean it's crazy, and I think the whole red pill community is just lost trying to find answers to something that would then not really benefit them in the long run, because all they're doing is just learning to be just a hoe as a dude. I mean, you're telling me Myron had sex with what? I mean, he said this on what? He said he had sex with how many women? I'm like, and you're technically passing them around. You're turning the women that were once pure into just 304s, or or turning women into just that type of thing, and it's very, I guess, kind of a disingenuous type of thing. Because I'm like, I mean, and you're kind of perpetuating the thing that you are hating, because the whole red pill community, wouldn't they just? I need to like probably look into the red pill community, because I know they're not into settling down, but they're just like, okay, women here, boom, like you put 10 dicks into 10 different vaginas, and then you just what is that? Like you're just passing them around, but it is stupid. I mean, that's why body counts are high. You know why body counts are high? Because people just have sex and they move on to the next person. I wonder why body counts are fucking high. It's just because people, I mean, aren't monogamy. Isn't monogamy. That's just the truth. And hello, welcome to the stream. Appreciate for a like, but it's just yeah, that's just the thing. That's just the thing about just the whole, I guess, hypocrisy of the red pill community. Now, I guess I don't know. I guess I want to go back to the topic of uh the just us as like men in general. You know, where do we find the line of where do we find the definitive uh I guess definition of us being men? Because our definition of men is through the society of specifically in America is um uh the white patriarchy, because that's what we follow. Because you don't sound white enough, or I because even one of my dad's friends, rest in peace to him, because he passed away like I think it was some years ago. He said that I sounded white on the phone. I'm like, what does or like out people would say I sound white on the mic on PlayStation. I'm like, oh, I sound white, and I'm like, what does that mean? And it's like y- y- because I don't talk, I don't talk as in, oh, what up, like I would literally have to tell people, I'm like, no, I'm black, and they're like, no, you're not black. I'm like, dude, I'm black. And they'll be like, show your face. I'm like, I don't have to show my face, but I'm like, I'm black, you know. And it's just kind of a thing that if you talk in a proper manner, you are then conducted as, oh, you are trying to adopt a non-white type of thing, or like no, it's just I'm talking. Like the definitive way of being black is having dreads or chains or just dreadlocks or something like that, or talking in a particular manner, you know, doing crack, selling drugs and things of the black stereotype, watermelon, fried chicken, chitlings, what is it? Pork rinds, pork belly, gumbo, all the stuff that's stereotyped as men, or cookouts. I guess the black cookouts, but hey, that's the good part, right? You know, things of that nature. And I always really um find it, interesting that the because that's what we tend to adopt is the white patriarchy of society, because our even our hairs, even to wear their hair a certain way. And also, in schools, women had to have their hair perm. Even uh in Jamaica, their hair has to be wear a certain way. You can't have your hair out like this, or you can't have things of that nature. And it's just a very interesting thing of that we tend to just bring down the beauty of just, I guess, being more ourselves, and not being something that we're trying to like be, like trying to be white. It's just, and it's like we're molded into a society where he has to be seen like this in order to be seen as a conductor, a a proper member of society. Is that, oh, you have to do this, you have to then join this, or it's such a very crazy thing that, and it's a societal thing throughout years, and it's hard for us to break that, because there's going to be people that will adopt and assimilate due to the white patriarchy. um yeah, it's a very crazy thing to think about. And I always wondered what it would be like to find common grounds amongst, because I guess to find out what masculinity is, because I just always, because when I really think about it, is it based off of our, through the lens of how, because I think we see masculinity through white people because they've been dominant, you know, the dominant race within society for a long time, and then they're seen as better than, because you look at white neighborhoods compared to black neighborhoods, and then it's just all the ghettos and that and what comes with it, and it's finding out just what it means to be a man within the, because it's like within the black community, it's just so interesting because we've just been so deep rooted in just societal norms, um of being viewed as, or we have to be like this, or we have to look like this, we have to uh, we have to appeal to the white demographic to then be seen as a productive member of society, or not, or or I guess, how do I say this, like, protect, no, well, I guess a productive member of society, or just to live in the world within their eyes, you know. Um, yeah, that's just a lot to unpack in, and then also just like, because I mean, I could talk about this for hours and hours. I mean, I could still go on right now, but I mean, I could just have conversations about it because I talk to myself all the time about all these things, and it's just like I never really share my opinions like to YouTube or just even just at social media. I just like, it's like I just can't find the ways to articulate myself in a uh manner that in which I can then put out to the world, and then they'll, you know, and then I get people to, build a conversation and have a dialogue within multiple people, and then just also just, I guess, people hearing my point of view or my perspective on things. And, that's just something that, I realize as I get older. And yeah, that's just something I need to, I guess, learn more about. And then also probably maybe guide somebody in the right direction, and then just because finding out that, you know, doing something in a you know, like, or because, like the whole meat, when I'm talking about like sounding white enough, like, how great, like I'm not sound, or like I sound white. Sounding white is crazy, especially like hearing that when I'm like 13 years old, 13 on, playing my games. Someone says I sound white because I don't, because Because what considered sounding black is like, saying, ghetto stuff or just talking how people perceive black people through media. And that's how we're seen as, macho people, thuggish. We're seen as all these, things, and I'm probably just repeating myself, but I'm just glad that I can just then put out my thoughts on the world, and mainly because us as I would say, well, for the black community, it's just then uh how do I put it? It's just the black community is just it's kind of slowly fallen apart ever since the 60s. I would say then downward it kind of just falls apart because we're so divided in our because we all don't live in the same class of some of us live in middle class, some of us live in uh low class, some of us live in high class, and then based on how we grow up, we then see the world through different eyes. Because as much as most the low class, most of them see the world as we see the world differently, and it sucks because that's also what kind of divides us as people to then never I mean to never really find um what is it to never really find to never really unite as one, which will probably which could happen, it could happen, but it's just changing the way that we view the world. And yeah, that's the truth, because we always thrive off of, I guess, conflict. Because if you look at your favorite shows, even mine, most of people's favorite shows, there's always a conflict. There's always something that a character has to go through. But I would beg to differ is that why can't we just live in a world where you're not seeing, because people that don't go through anything, they're like, oh, they're the lucky ones. And it's like, I guess, yeah, they're lucky, but it's at the same time, it's like, why is that deemed as wrong? Because you're living life, I guess, perfectly, which is, it's like some people got to, some people, uh, I mean, you know, yeah, it's like, why is that vilified? And I like, for example, I really want to make a show or I guess write something that there's nothing that's negative about life, which in some aspects you can really do, because I think that we just live in a society where we just, again, almost every show back, every almost every single show every day there's conflict. Like, why does there have to be conflict? Why can't there just be an episode where nothing goes wrong? There are days where nothing goes wrong. There are days where it's perfect. There are weeks where they are perfect. Yes, you have bad days, but we focus on the conflict, the negative part of the story. That's what I guess drives the story. But then again, I don't get it. That's also another thing. Why can't there just be just a simple, like this? There's not a lot of shows that represent just a perfect day or just a normal, just a good day, just a good day. It's always the perspective of something has to go wrong in order for your show to progress. That's almost everything. Naruto, something has to go wrong for the show to progress. But hey, what we watch it, we are in tune with it, we then consume it and then adopt it in life. That's why when people talk about, oh, like life, like things are relatable, is because everything is adopted through how we view life. We adopt things through the, oh, life ain't fair. Life ain't fair because we adopt it in life. That's just the thing. We just adopt things. And then it turns into media. And then we just adopt things from recycled media, even though it's like I could just watch a movie from the 50s and it's just a cycle repeats. That's why when something exists, it's hard to combat it as a as a thing. That's like circling back to once something is established. Again, it's hard to get rid of. Hard to get rid of completely. So yeah, and I guess if we want to talk about some other stuff, we can talk about the uh I guess what is it? Oh, let's talk about hmm, let's see. I guess family too, is that growing up, you know, I would just say the black family is always been a very interesting thing. Or not even that, just family in general, I guess, is that we're the ones that are deemed to we're seen as the family that, you know, growing up like people that grow up without a father, there's no father figure in the house, and how that shapes the children as they grow up. And I would say that a father figure not being in part of the house or a mother not being a part of the house, but I guess more so the father figure side is that it tends to then give off that, especially like the whole black, because we're like the black stereotype of like, oh, black fathers are never around, but when there's like, you know, like there are black fathers that are around, and then that's just a perpetuated stereotype because, also that's also another thing too. You have a lot of men that get women pregnant, but then don't ever want to be in their life for their don't ever want to be in the life for their kids. But I would say the good ones are the ones that try to reach out and then be like, "Hey, is this my kid?" You know, and then they then try to try to connect with their child that's theirs. But to like the deadbeat fathers that just never in their kid's life, and it's like, and also that's another thing too. Like the whole raising someone else's kid is like, well, you talk about people that are because it's like because like I hear this conversation. You hear this conversation that I don't ever want to raise someone else's kid, but then at the same time they grow up without a dad or a father figure. Then they end up like some hooligan or just some criminal. And then it's like something that's not positive. And then it's like, well, see, like look at that. You could have been that. You could have been just a father figure, a mentor to like a growing boy. You know what I'm saying? That's just the thing about like the whole father stuff. It's just like it doesn't make any sense. Like I wouldn't mind because I like hanging I like I like teaching people. I like teaching kids. I like to be around them and just make sure that they're in the right direction so that they can grow up to be better than me. Because I always want to make sure that a kid's happy, healthy. Always you know you always want to make sure that your next generation is better than the last, so that we can just always build on each other through each generation. We just keep building, 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 building. So like the whole father stuff, it's very crazy. Because all the fathers that are just never around. And you just look at it like, damn, it just never made sense to me. That why is it that you don't want to raise somebody else's kid, but then you want to then but then there's also the other people that also bring up that why aren't there fathers or why is there always men around to help raise kids? And it's like I always bring up that point is that if we have a genuine community that can help raise children as a father figure, because also I guess the nuclear family is what is called father, mother, and then like what a child. The nuclear family can be like repaired, I guess. That's also just I guess a thing of I guess of the somewhat of the of a possibility, because and it's always good to just be that for a kid. I have an uncle who wasn't there for his kids, daughters, in their lives. Let's see. I have an uncle their, who wasn't there for his kids, for his two daughters in their lives, and and that is messed up. And he doesn't even care that he has grandchildren from one of his daughters, and that's crazy. Another thing too. Is like, damn, you're the person that brought, what I'm saying, what I'm saying, your uncle brought those kids into the world, but they never wants to be in their life. And then that's also another psychological thing too about that is that when, because I always wondered, like kids that are adopted, do they ever? I mean, some are adopted that they're fine, they live with it, but then there's also the ones that think about like, was I loved? Why didn't I have my biological parents? They'll have that thought, I guess. But to then I guess could find I guess to find a you know something. Yeah, because it's a very crazy thing that the lack of fathers in I guess in this world is crazy. But also that can also fall under to the mother as well because of her maybe being very active in her life, not knowing who the father is to the child as well, which is a crazy thing too, because then that also turns people into that turns them into single mothers because of their lack of what is it, responsibility, or more of to then know who the father is. And that's also another thing too. And then because now at this point in life where it's very hard to you know for them like to take the test, and you know for like the dudes to take the paternity test, and then like some of them don't want to take it, or like the female don't want them to take it, but then they still want them to take care of the kid. But it's just like, and I also understand that also responsibility, or that other perspective as well. It's like I don't want to raise a kid that's not mine, and it's like I can fully understand that too. You know, There's people that just don't want to raise other people's kids, and that's fine because there's people in life that just don't want to have kids. You know, we can't really, you can't really vilify that at all. But at the same time, you can't really, I guess, I don't know. The thing about it is, the real fathers need to step up. The biological father needs to step up and raise their own kids because in a perfect world, no, I guess no father, I would say. I guess in a perfect world, yeah, no man should be raising another person's kid, right? I guess. For me to say that, I think even that's kind of a little bit weird because I'm like, but what if a perfect world? I mean, I don't know. I guess I think a perfect world is whatever you want. I guess that's how that works. But a perfect world would be very uniform and very formulaic in that sense as well. I've been talking about a perfect world, but it's always like always the mother can also, yeah, because I would like, back to that, the mother is also to blame for the for being a single mom because of being sexually active, or and then just like kind of just kind of guessing like who's the father. I'm like, if you just didn't have sex so much, you could probably tell who the father is and remember who is what. Because that's a very uh it's like it's a very loaded topic within that whole, the whole fatherless thing is because it's just, and then also there's just women that just don't want the dad to be in the life at all, which is crazy. Or they want a new man, and then it's just very loaded. It's very loaded as a topic. Uh, but the psychology of an orphan is something else, though. Very, 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 very interesting. Um, yeah, that's okay. And then I was like, what else can we talk about? What else? What else? What else? Um, shoot, what time is it? It's like what, 10 something? Oh, it's 10 a.m. Oh wow, damn, cool. All right, so I just guessed that off the top of my head. I was like, was it 10 a.m.? Because yeah, it's just life is just crazy to think about. I don't think I'm even I don't even think I'm finished with the topic of just like the whole like fatherless thing, and I think I pretty much answered that the whole fatherless thing in that realm of having not having I haven't had, so I guess. But to them, that perspective is very interesting, and yeah, um, but I guess the perception of black people, going back to that, it's very rough and stereotypes. But yeah. Now, I guess what I also want to talk about, I guess, is the whole Palestine thing. I'm for Palestine 100% because the genocide is just out of hand. It's ridiculous. All these people getting murdered for what? Like honestly, for what? Some stupid shit. This stupid fucking war over for nothing. Just killing just to kill. And it's just a disgrace I mean, it's just stupid. So it's like, what are you fighting about? It just never, it blows my mind that you have these people that have this level of thinking to where you just then want to, I don't know, like it's just like just straight up murder. Just don't give a fuck. Like just don't give just blowing up shit. Like just killing innocent children, like men, women, just killing everybody. Ended generations. You just see dead bodies of kids, and it's just fucking like, and it's just sad. It's just sad because now I don't understand it. We're at this point in the world where we cannot find common ground to the point where it's like, but you gotta bomb like a whole city for what? It's just all this. It's all this control and trying to just be a bully. It's just it's just stupid. Just dumb. But yeah, just a lot of stuff. Like just a lot of stuff to unpack as a just learning the world and but yeah. Yeah, but that the fight of between the Palestinians and the Israelis is just dumb. It's just dumb. And I mean it's been like what almost I think it's been almost 100 years. It's like just crazy. Just crazy. Um yeah, but I guess like this is just I mean when I seen the videos I'm like this is just sad. I'm like I just saw this father carry his lifeless kid over to just being covered up, and I'm like, what the fuck? People being trapped under stuff and under rubble, and it's just, but for what? Stupid shit, stupid shit. I'm telling you, just stupid. War is just fucking dumb because it's just stupid shit, stupid fucking shit, just dumb fucking shit that motherfuckers what just power, greed, just fucking trying to just arm like just visit say is Armstrong or not like strong arm somebody. What? Nothing. But I guess to then go to it's onto another subject is the I guess the danger that because I don't know if people know this, but like the I think it sucks that considerably black females are in the most danger in terms of like in, like just in society because they'd be like I mean you know you talk about just white females like talking about being in danger. Black females go through it more, and I and then I always I think it kind of like sucks that when real victims can't really be heard because of just off of just because of people that do false allegations or and then just lying about stuff and it's just not good for genuine people that are that were in danger or soon to be in danger. That's why and it sucks because I'm like as a as a black man it's just I'm looking at this situation I'm like and it's like damn is the what the things that I need to do and like what can I do as a black man to then give my help towards protecting black females because we need to like I'm like dead serious. We need to protect black females because it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing and it's a crazy world too. I mean, it's like it's a crazy world, and I'm like dead serious because we if we don't do that, we then would because we have to be together as a community. 'Cause, I mean, we can't be against each other because if we do that, we just cause a divide. Because I think it kind of sucks that because how people perceive black females, and that's why most like black men marry outside of their race, and the and I guess the which is not a problem per se, but it's just it's like why they you could tell like why they would marry outside of their race, which is nothing wrong with that. Love is love. But when you have you know, these women, the black women are just too ghetto or something, and it's like I'm like, that's just generalizing all black women to be some like type of way, and then they marry outside of their race in let's just say another country even. Then it's like, well, because black women are are independent and I guess can handle themselves and have other things. I'm like that's good. Like what's wrong with that? Or a woman is, or let's just say a certain black female isn't conforming to uh th- the male patriarchy of a woman should be a stay-at-home mom. And I'm like, she should just cook, clean, and all that stuff. And it's just like, it's just like, if you want that type of female, I mean, you could find that obviously, but it's just, I just think that the patriarchy of the male society even, or just how society we look at females as in, oh, they just a stay-at-home mom, pretty much, or they just supposed to cook, clean when or when the husband gets home as a home cooked meal, which happens in relationships anyway. But to only then see women as just a housekeeper, pretty much a maid. That's what some people delegate women as or see them as. Let me see if I mm, mm, okay, well, let me take that word back. Or I'm not to delegate, but uh to then group women into that realm of cooking, cleaning, and all that stuff. And yeah, and that's the thing that very much so is a problem. Just just in the patriarchy of just men in general, and I guess going back to the intersexual, like you know, having interracial sex, or just interracial relationships, is that between the black communities because of how black women are, and I guess, or how they're seen as, and then it's just very I would say more so of a perspective that, is it wrong for, I've never thought it was wrong for women to just build themselves up, feel independent, and like, what's wrong with that? you know a woman having a job, if they want one, there's two incomes in a household. Because I think that it's very crazy that, like, a woman, and then imagine a woman having a job and then she has to cook, clean, and do all that stuff. She's basically doing more work than what the man's doing. And then I find it funny that I think there's one video where, like, this dude was talking about, like, paying a mechanic to fix a car, but then it's like, I forgot, it was something like that. I was like, but but it's like a man is supposed to fix his car, and I'm saying, like, something like that. But um, I guess, but it's like the whole thing about intersexuality is just a very much a thing that has happened, even just in the past, and then also the stigma of in, interracial relationships. Even back in when the white woman wanted the black man, and then she'll say that, oh, this happened, and then that, and the history behind that, and that's also a thing too. And then also, like, how interracial couples can, like, go south, and then they'd be like, I told you, you shouldn't have been with that, shouldn't have been with that woman, or just shouldn't have been with that man. And it's just so much stuff to, I guess, like, to not more or less, because it's just such a deep dive to get into. I was watching, just watching a video on, like, I think FD signifier, and just talking about, interracial relationships and to then unfold that, especially within like the passport bros, like they promote this thing of, oh, just marry a woman outside of the US, or you can find a woman that's conforming to um the I guess the patriarchy of or I guess how a woman or how certain men see women as a housemaid, you know, just a woman that does things around the house. So I'm like, then I'm like, bro, you just, people just have a very closed-minded view on just relationships and just the outlook of life. It's like you only want, and then they just only want a woman that's just like just blindly listens to them. Never can be it's never could have their own thought process or opinion. Just has to conform to what they do because, oh, they're the breadwinner, they're the this, they're that. And then I also find it very weird that, you know, dudes want women to be that way, but then also complain about them being gold diggers. I'm like, if, because I mean, if you're gonna tell a female that she has to quit her job to just sit around in the house, you better like you pretty much might as well just pay. It's like because that's like a livelihood. Like you're stopping a career. Because when you think about it, it's like if a female, if you then make her a stay at home mom, you're then just kind of just turning that into just a. I mean, what she's not working. All she does is do things around the house. And it's just like, well, damn. And just in that regard, but I guess within the idea, well, I guess within the thinking of a person that like wants to date a woman outside of, I guess outside of their own race, or the person that wants to date outside of their race, I guess they just there's either a fetishization, a they or the they're looking for it's just whatever. It's just so much to I guess unfold more or less. Um, I like this is like kind of new for me to do, like within like expressing my thoughts and opinions on things, and but just the interracial relationships, and I'm like, and also it's kind of also to like another perspective is that I don't think there's anything wrong with dating outside of your race if that is the person that you want to be with. Because I mean, there's so many people I have friends that have done that, and it's just like, and it's fine, and it's cool to find that you found that one person that you can be with, but then also there's that stigma of like keeping the family like I guess black, or white or you know not what is it mixing in the printer, things of that nature. Um uh like that's that the stigma of that you have to be with the race that you are, keeping it in a like type of like a purebred type of thing with like dogs or something like that. Like you have to marry within your own race. You have to stay within your own, like stay within your own race. Like and you can never explore outside of your race in terms of relationships, which is that also a whole nother thing too. Like that's a thing that we can then I guess unfold because it's so like all the topics I talk about, I don't think I've hit every point on them. But if I were to, then I guess 'cause, you know all the topics I've talked about, like it's so much loaded things, and some of them are just definitive anyway. That I've said, like some of them are just like definitive, because you really can't really like. But it's like, but there's just so much to just unpack and just open up and then just plaster out. Just like showing all these points to then have this, I guess, point of view of then knowing that there's more than just that stuff. But yeah, um, you know what? I'm gonna probably just end it here. Um, thank you all for those that have tuned in or that will tune in, that will probably watch this all the way through. Thank you for those that joined. Thank you, Dipper. Appreciate the comments. Love all you guys. I want y'all to get some water, hydrate yourself, and yeah, catch you later. I'll probably be back on later today. Might get two streams. So peace out. Stay safe, and deuces. Peace.